So tonight I was able to get the apron pulled apart on the Hendey. Went ahead and got most of it cleaned up. There's still a little bit of paint removal to do, but it's almost all there. Going into this, I knew that I was going to find some wear, but luckily it wasn't my worst nightmare. I think this is a classic example of what happens when oiling holes get plugged up and ignored. On the apron here, you can see it's got 4 brass tubes lead oil out into the gears, but from the front they're just some holes, so I can kind of see those getting ignored. That may be some paint or something to mark them. And then on all these shaft oiling ports, all but one were missing the ball cover, and getting into this thing, I found that the oiling system on this is kind of well thought out, and oil not getting to the shafts was more than just those bearings in the apron, but those also oil the rest of the shafts throughout the machine. You can see on this one, this is for your main hand wheel there, and the oil from your hole falls down into here, and the inside of this shaft acts like a reservoir and distributes that oil through the various points across here. Something I found kind of interesting was the clutch system on this lathe. It has a kind of a tapered friction clutch. And those mesh together, so when you tighten this hand wheel on the front of the machine, it tightens this taper into that gear and engages the clutch. When you loosen it, it slips. And so those are actually in pretty good shape. In fact, one of them I found some residual die chem in there, so someone was trying to do something with them. You see here, there's the half nuts, or what's left of them. One side has about a little less than half the threads left. The other side, the entire insert is missing. So I initially thought these were Babbitt half nuts, but these ones are in fact the brass variety. And so I'm not sure if that means it's going to be easier or harder to replace. But that's the point we're sitting at on it. There's a number of... The gears aren't in all that bad a shape. I did find one of these worm gears has some chipped teeth on it. There's 3 alternating there. I don't think it's going to be enough to pull it out of commission. And this one here, you see where it's been repaired there once before. Someone actually did a really good job on that. Welded it up there. There's a lot of points on this I think I'll just be able to fix with some bushings. Luckily, there's not going to be too many new bushings. Most of it's just pressing out old bushings, putting new ones in, just usual repair stuff. There's a couple points I'll have to add new bushings or figure something out to get it tightened up. But when I had this machine running, the feeds on the apron were one thing that were kind of spotty, and I'm thinking a lot of that is leading back to these gears and getting everything kind of meshed into place. Those friction clutches were not working, but I don't really see any damages to the clutch part itself. I think it was just a case where some parts were seized up, whereas others were too loose and out of adjustment. So I'll go through this and Once all the cleanup is done, get some bushings put in there, put it back together, and half nuts will be another battle to take care of, but everything else I think should be pretty straightforward. That's for this end of the apron. The other part, the screws on the lead screw, these have a bit of play in them, and I'm going to have to see if that's something I can live with, or if I'm going to have to try to get that resolved. The lead screw, it has some visible wear in it. You can see where the threads are thicker towards the unused portions of it than others. But all in all, I don't think it's in that bad a shape. I think new half nuts will be enough to keep it functioning. But all in all, just like everything else on the machine, there's a few damages and a lot of wear, but nothing super critical just yet. So hopefully it keeps up.